Wow, I can't believe it's dark already. It's 4:30.
Winter is coming.
Duh, it's November.
Hello, my children. Your father has brought you a new swatching video.
That's just gonna be making noise.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to live with the fact that the washing machine is just...
Well, if a certain someone had not thrown up.
But the best part of him waking me up was not that I woke up to the sound of him vomiting. I woke up because I was like, wow, my hand is wet. And it's gritty? What is this? Oh, that's partially digested kibble in the palm of my hand at 2:45 in the morning.
What a delightful picture he is.
I love that thing. Okay. Prism Parade just released their Frostborne collection consisting of 6 new wintry shades. I'll talk about it more later in the video, but I really like the color palette of this collection because it isn't really a classic winter color palette, but still fits the vibe really well. Which is why I feel like the inspiration of this collection may be something like Game of Thrones, but also Frozen. So today I'll be swatching the new collection, comparing them to things in my collection, and testing them out over black. But before we get into the rest of the video, I do want to mention that Jill, the brand owner, and I have become really good friends. Since we spent some time together at PBE, Jill has become one of our besties, and we talk pretty much every day. And one of my favorite things that we've been doing is that we sync up our watch of Dragula and live text each other our reactions to everything. That's why I wanted to disclose, even though we are friends, I am going to try to remain as unbiased as possible. As Jill has explicitly told me that she is not making polishes for me. But maybe one day. Anyways, I do want to mention that I have an affiliate code with Prism Parade, so if you want to save 10% off at checkout, use code ND10 or the link in the description below. Starting with the launch of this collection until December 1st, Prism Parade is having their annual Kaleidosale. This is an automatic 20% off that you can stack with my discount code to get a total of 30% off. Now let's defrost these polishes and get into these swatches. Into the unknown. The unknown is the lack of script that we have here. First up is Ember in the Ice. This is described as a shifty glitter bomb polish.
You know what this glitter is? It's the bomb.
It's thebomb.com because this is my favorite one. This is described as a shifty glitter bomb polish that includes pink to blue shimmer, green and blue reflective glitters, and gold holographic glitter. And my brain can't comprehend what is in this. It's a crazy combination of hollow, red sparkle, orange sparkle, maybe green sparkle, and reflective glitters in a slightly greeny base. My god, what is this? First coat was thin as expected, but so even. Like, hello? Could this be a topper? I forgot to record the second coat because I was vibing to Sabrina Carpenter. So the second coat is a different second coat, which, full disclosure, I did do a thicker coat and double dip since this is my largest nail. I was vibing so hard that I went to press record after I finished the swatch and I was like, oh. So I took off the nail and redid the first coat and then filmed the second coat because I have integrity. Now I wasn't expecting full coverage on the second coat, but wow, it did it. I freaking love this ghostly sage that is just so warm with the golden orange shimmer, but then also adding so much hollow sparkle and reflective glitters just makes this so interesting. As for the comparisons, full disclosure, a lot of these are stretches because these polishes are very unique in comparison to my collection. So for Ember in the Ice, I grabbed Sylvan Claw's Drip Drop because it is a greeny, reflective, glittery thing, but it is ultimately a different color green. Maybe it has a similar touch of the ghostly sage base color, but it's lightened and turned more aqua because of the blue shimmer.
Deep aqua.
Dibaqua.
Like aqua.
Like datwa.
Morocco.
Morocqua. Maraca? I also grabbed Cirque's Stunt Queen, which I don't think is really that close. Moving on. So as I said, I really like this one. Jill, great job. You say you don't make polishes for me, but this one is definitely for me. As Jill made a polish that has everything and the kitchen sink in it. So I really love this one and I just want to consume it and combine it with my very essence.
For legal reasons, please do not drink nail polish.
Please don't drink the nail polish. Or I guess combine it with your very essence. I don't think that that's healthy either. So this polish gets 5 dragon glass weapons out of 5. Yeah.
Ooh, I am a White Walker.
I mean...
because I'm old, cold, and already dead.
Moving on, we have Moonlit Coronation. This is an indigo-based polish with an intoxicating pinkish red shimmer and filled with silver reflective glitter. And oh wow, she is so soft and pretty. But...
wow. Wow.
Ka-chow! And oh wow, she is so soft and pretty, but also an explosion of red shimmer and super pretty reflective glitters. Now, based on how it applied on the first coat, I think it would make a really great topper, which is what inspired me to test these all over black later. I wasn't expecting it to get to full coverage on the second coat because of how sparkly and complex it is, but I was pleasantly surprised it did. Jill? This is amazing. As for comparisons, I think we did a much better job this time. I think that
The only time. This was the only time that they were that good.
I think this is the only time they were that good, but we're going to live with that fact.
Sulavu.
Sulavu or whatever, I guess. As for comparisons, this was one of the times that I think we kind of nailed it. The closest in my collection is Cirque's Showgirl, because it's also a very similar light purpley with a red shimmer. I think there's reflective glitters in it too, but I don't remember. It looks sparkly, so similar. Desert Blossom is what I would consider slightly more true purple, while Moonlit Coronation has slightly more blue elements to it. I think a better way of saying that is it's a cooler purple, but it also has the red shimmer, which is why it's cool. I'm not usually a lover of this kind of purple, but adding in the striking red shimmer plus the reflective glitters just...
It smells like soup.
It does smell like soup. Oh yeah, we're making soup. But also, when I found out that these reflective glitters were blue, I loved it even more.
Doesn't it say that they're silver?
No, they're blue.
That says silver.
That's blue. Jill,
Maybe they look blue because of the base.
they're like such an icy blue, and they're so pretty. I'm just honestly really surprised I like this polish, so I think I'm gonna give this 5 snowmen having an existential crisis in the spring out of 5. Do you wanna go stir the soup?
Yeah. Stir the soup. Every now and then I stir the soup. Smells like soup. 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 How we soup? Whoa! Say goodbye, soup.
Bye, soup.
Oh, hello.
And moving right along, we have Shiverscale. This is a lavender-hued lacquer with mesmerizing green shimmer laced with purple reflective glitter and microfine hollow. Wait, purple? This has purple reflective glitters? Oh, it does!
Mesmerizing.
This is a pretty wild pinky green and also has super even coverage, so it has a lot of potential as a topper. On the first coat, it's this thin wash of pink on the nail with that vibrant green shimmer, but it also kind of looks like there's these dark pink matte glitters that are super tiny. Yes, I'm telling you, look at when I zoom in. Wait a minute, who are you?
I wonder if that's like the reflective glitter.
I don't know, Jill. On the second coat is when you start to see that pinky purple color that you see in the bottle.
It's lavender.
Is it?
Diva, you just said that.
Well, that's because I
described
didn't
as
read
lavender.
any of the descriptions.
Diva, you just read it on camera.
Diva, I don't remember.
You just said it. You're done.
Ah, shout out to Nicole Byer. I hope you're watching our video. Nicole Byer's remorse.
Nicole Byer's remorse. Nicolas Cage free eggs.
On the second coat, it's still thin in some spots where you can still see the staining of my nails and the tips of the nail, which is why I painted a third coat. Now, I did paint the third coat on the thicker side, but it got to pretty much full coverage. I do still think there were some hints of visible nail line when angled away from the viewer, but really only in harsh lighting. As for comparisons, this one is the record for the worst comparisons we've ever pulled in any video ever. To be fair, that's a good thing. Good job, Jill.
Exactly.
I don't have anything like this. So I grabbed Hollow Taco's Curfew Crasher because it's also a purpley polish with a bright shimmer in it, but they're nowhere alike. I think the closest is probably Apocalypse Polish's Lose Our Minds Together. It is also a purple polish with a green shimmer, but it's an entirely different tone of purple, and the green does look slightly greener in Lose Our Minds Together than it does in Shiverscale. Now, I don't really love this color because it's a little bit more on the pinky side, but the addition of the green shimmer does make make it really interesting because it's a play of such opposite colors on the nail. I think I also see the connection to the other shades in this collection because the pinky element in the purple piece shows up other times and the green shows up other times as well. So I think it fits really nicely in the color palette and helps bring inter-polish cohesion. However, it's not my favorite, so this is probably gonna get like 2.5 out of 5. And moving on, we have Frozen Hollow. This is a frostbitten sage lacquer with glowy green shimmer and microfine holographic glitter. And ooh, she is very pretty and slightly metallic. It has this desaturated and darkened sage color, but the addition of the green shimmer pulls it all together and is a really nice touch. It did have less even coverage than the others on the first coat. On the second coat, it got more even coverage in the center, but there was still a lot of thin patches on the sides of my nail where you can clearly see visible nail line, which is why I added a third coat here. And overall, it makes this super duper pretty metallic-y sage green color. But it was quite sheer, as I really had to go back into the bottle or double dip for the sides of the nail. And only after the third coat, I can start to see the hollow sparkle in this. As for comparisons, this one is like not too horrible, but still not my best work. I think the closest is maybe Starly's Polar Lights, as it has a similar greeny color, but I really think it's way more aqua instead of sage green. Beneath the Palms is another Prism Parade green, but that's more of a pastel green, while Frozen Hollow really is a sagey green. So overall, I like this one because I really like the sage green color. However, I do think I want slightly more coverage here because I did have to double dip a few times in that third coat. And full disclosure, this is Nail Husband's favorite polish from the collection.
Yeah. I liked it because the sage green is just like a color that I really enjoy, but it also looked really good, both glossy and matte. That's it.
And what he said, this gets 3.75. And moving on, we have Winter's Kiss. This is a soft shimmery polish with triple pink shifting shimmers and tiny flecks of blue laced throughout. It can appear a soft pearly white, light lavender, or even a light green at certain angles. Oh wow, that's a fantastic description. So much better than what I wrote. On the first coat, it doesn't even look like it really has a color in it. The shimmer is a bright flash of pink, but it looks like a slight pond green on the nail. I mean that in a nice way. But then there's also these blue or gold sparkles that just show up sometime. And it's very, very complex, but I don't think I like it. Sorry, Jill.
You told her you didn't like it, and she's like, it's not for you, babe.
Yeah, word for word. Now, there was still some visible nail line that didn't look too bad out of the spotlight, so I did paint a third coat. This third coat did help a lot more, but I think I went a little too thick on this, as I might have trapped some bubbles in it, which is why there's a little bit of bubbly on the nail. Oh god. These comparisons. For comparisons, I did grab Pearl Clutcher by Mooncat because it reminds me of a pearly polish if it had a sagey green base. I think the closest is probably Got Cake by Hollow Taco, but close is a very loose term. They have a
Close because the swatch sticks are next to each other.
Yes.
Color-wise?
No.
If you close your eyes.
Got Cake has a lot more things going on inside of it, but I do see a similar pink flash that I see in Winter's Kiss. Now, I also don't know why I grabbed Cirques to the Moon and Back, but it's there. So I don't love this one because it flashes so pink in bright lighting, but then when the pink is not activated, it has this slight pond scum green that is just not really that flattering on me. But I do really appreciate the bright flashes of the random blue or random orange that shows up. So this polish gets 2 beads of ice that form on my mustache when it's super duper cold out of 5. And last up we have the Ice Queen. This is described as a baby blue lacquer with glacial blue shimmer and microfine holographic glitter. On the first coat, it has a slight ghostly appearance because you can really only see the shimmer. But on the second coat, that's when the bright blue aspect comes out so much more. And I also think there might be an ever so slight touch of green in here, pulling this into a slight aqua direction. I did feel like it needed a third coat as there were still some visible nail line patches or thin spots on my nail. But on that third coat, it's just such a pretty pearly blue polish. There may still be some slight hints of visible nail line, but really only in super bright direct lighting. As for comparisons, I think this one is the best one we've had today. I think the closest is Poolside from Prism Parade, except that pulls a lot more green, while Ice Queen pulls a lot more blue. I think Starly's Dream Logic is almost too blue for me to consider it too close, but it does have a very similar vibe. I did also grab Holo Taco's Hydropower and 8-Bit Blues, as those felt like really similar colors when I was looking at them in the bottle, but next to each other, it's pretty different. So I like this one, but in comparison to the other polishes in the collection, this one is much more classic winter, and thus I find it less interesting. But it is still a really pretty blue, so if this is what you like, you might really like it. And if you want to be Elsa, that's the nail polish you need. So this polish is going to get 3.75, closing the door on your sister and starting a blizzard that almost destroys the entire town instead of just talking to her like a person, out of 5. So here's the entire collection altogether. I think it's a really interesting take on a winter color palette. Like, it does still scream winter because it has those cool tones, but there's so much purple and green that feels very uncharacteristic for a winter palette, which makes this so interesting. Honestly, I think it's a really smart idea to release a winter collection in this style because it stands out so much more from what other companies are releasing around now. And speaking of what else is being released, it's time for the WOTHH. WOTHH. What's on the husband's hand? Nail Husband is wearing the Festive AF Trio, which is releasing at the same time as the Frostborne collection. These are 3 glittery polishes in the classic Christmas color palette, and these are limited edition, available through the end of the year or while supplies last. But now it's my turn. It's time for the WOMOH. Sandy. I'm wearing 2 polishes from Tyler's Trinkets that are themed around K-pop demon hunters. The purple is Heels Nails Blade Mascara, which is the December PPU shade, and it inspired an entire K-pop demon hunters collection. And the red is Fit Check for my Napalm era, which is one of the polishes in that collection. Be on the lookout for more about that when it releases. And before we go, it's time to test these polishes over black. One of my favorite things about Prism Parade is that Jill has a tendency to make polishes that work really well over black, because they're on the slightly sheerer side due to their complexity and focus on shimmers. I think the 3 that work the best over black are Moonlit Coronation, Frozen Hollow, and Ice Queen. All of these have a nice even wash of the shimmer, and I think could be worn in this dark mode variant. I was really hopeful that Ember In The Ice was going to make a great topper because I love it so much, but I think it's almost too packed full of glitters that it didn't apply evenly enough. So now that you've seen everything, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Are these polishes the excitement of your first winter snow, or are they just Jack Frost nipping at your nose? And quick reminder, if you're interested in supporting us, you can become a channel member. Check out the link in the description below. Thank you to my Titan Wranglers, but an extra special shout out to the members of the Silver Spurs Club. Anyways, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye. The cold never bothered me anyway.